Hello learners of P5, my name is Monica John. I'd like to welcome you in this lesson that is science. I'd like to urge you to follow the SOPs so that we can prevent ourselves from getting coronavirus or COVID-19. So with me, I'm going to take you through P5 science, and the topic is immunization and immunity. Immunization and immunity. But before we look at that, let's see what we are going to follow as we learn. Make sure that you understand something, pick something from what we are going to learn today. So, as I told you that we are going to look at immunity and immunization. These two terms, immunity and immunization, move together, because if one is missing, then you are not talking about immunization, and if you leave out immunity, then you are not going to understand. Therefore, we are not going to look at immunity and immunization, all of it today, but we shall only pick only immunity. And in our lesson, what do I expect from you? One, you will be able to define for me the term immunity. Another one, you are going to mention for me the ways of acquiring immunity. Then you will also mention the types of immunity that we have in the body. Then you will also state the importance of immunity to the body. What does immunity do to the body? Let me ask my technician to take us through. What do you understand by the term immunity? What is immunity? Ask your brother. Try to ask your brother or sister or your friend whom you are seated with to tell you. Thank you very much. What has he told you? Tell me under here. Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and see. Compare your answer with mine. Mine is, immunity is the ability of the body to resist disease germs. To resist disease germs. We can say resist or fight disease germs. So can you define with me? Immunity is the ability of the body to resist disease germs. Thank you. If you have defined, not that one, not it. Let's continue and see ways of acquiring immunity. Friends, we have 4 ways, but what do you know? Which way do you know that people can acquire immunity? You just think about, ask your brother, ask somebody who is there. How can one acquire immunity? How can the body get the immunity to fight disease germs? Compare your answers with mine. Let's see. Thank you very much. 1, if your friend told you the following. 1, we acquire immunity. Our bodies acquire immunity through breastfeeding. Say with me, through breastfeeding. What does it mean? When you were very young, a little baby, your mother used to feed you on the breast milk. That breast milk contains chemicals that we call antibodies. Those antibodies help our bodies to fight germs. What are those antibodies? Those chemicals are called antibodies. 2, a person can also get immunity through recovering from an illness. Through recovering from an illness. When you suffer from malaria, your body becomes weak. Then later, the body starts fighting those germs, and when those germs are no more in your body, you gain the type of immunity that we call the natural immunity, the immunity against that malaria. So that malaria, when it comes again at that moment, it cannot get you again. 2, we have 3, from mother to her unborn baby. from mother to her unborn baby. Who is an unborn baby? An unborn baby is that baby which is still inside the mother's womb. When we, like me, when I was still in my mother's womb, I had immunity. That's why when they gave birth to me, some diseases did not manage to get me. Why? I was born with that immunity. So a person can get immunity through from the mother to her unborn baby. And lastly, the last way of acquiring immunity is through immunization. Through immunization. Members, we are in this period of COVID-19. That is a disease which is currently ruining the whole world. Now, this disease, they have not yet discovered the medicine, but they are trying to look for a vaccine so that they can immunize, that our bodies can get immunity against COVID-19. So when they immunize us, we receive immunity. So let me ask my technician to take us through the other way. Yes, what we have been looking at is here. We have through immunization. This is from mother to the unborn baby. You can see this mother has got 2 kids inside the womb. The type of immunity, that immunity that they are receiving naturally. After recovering from any illness, you can see our bodies. When you recover from any illness, you gain immunity. Let's continue. Yes, breastfeeding. Breastfeeding. So with breastfeeding, we say that when the mother, when you breastfeed, you also gain immunity. Let's continue. I told you that you have to mention the types of immunity. Now, check yourself. Which type of immunity do you know? Which type of immunity can one develop? Yes. Which type of immunity can one develop? I know you know them, but compare your answer with mine. Let's see. Yes. Did you see somebody telling you that we have natural immunity? Say natural immunity. Natural immunity. Artificial immunity. Artificial immunity. Yes, those are the 2 types of immunity. Let's see each of them. What does it mean? And how can one get the natural or the artificial immunity? Yes, let's look at natural immunity. Natural immunity is the type of immunity acquired without receiving any vaccine. Is the type of immunity acquired without receiving any immunity. You remember the ways I gave you how a person can get immunity? Let's look at them and we see where does each of them belong. Yes, ways of acquiring natural immunity. Let's see them. 1, through breastfeeding. So when a mother is breastfeeding a baby, the type of immunity he gets is what? Natural immunity. Say it again. Natural immunity. 2, through recovery from an illness. When somebody suffers from measles, I know some people have ever suffered from measles, chicken pox, and they developed some rashes on their body. When you suffer from measles, you gain the natural immunity against measles. That's why when somebody suffers from measles, he suffers once and measles will never come back to his body or her body. Why? You gain the immunity against it. Another one is from mother to her unborn baby. Let's look at artificial immunity. And we see how one can acquire artificial immunity. And what does it mean? 1, artificial immunity is the type of immunity got through immunization. It's the type of immunity got through immunization. So when you get vaccines, you go to the hospital, you receive polio vaccine, DPT vaccine, Rotavaccine for diarrhea, PCV for pneumonia, you are acquiring what we call artificial immunity. Ways of acquiring artificial immunity: one can get vaccines like polio vaccine, they put drops in the mouth, that's also immunization. Others are injected, like you and me, we were injected when we were still young. Some of us were given human papillomavirus vaccine, HVP, for cervical cancer, to provide the immunity against those diseases. So we can proceed, and thank you very much. We have come to something interesting. Now, we have been looking at immunity. You are going to get your book and then put down these questions. And in our next lesson, we shall see. I have very good stickers that I'm going to put for in your book. I will come with them. You will see them. So you are going to try these numbers in your books. Thank you very much. Thank you for being good listeners and good learners. I know you have learned something. The way I say that first, that learn something at the beginning. Continue staying home. Avoid sitting in crowds. We can beat coronavirus down. Thank you.